He's letting you all know that he's Batman.
Oh, is he Batman? Can you move his face, the hair out of his face, people can actually see him?
Oh, Ayala brought the picture to show everyone.
Oh, the Ayala knows who that
Oh,
is.
good job.
Ayala, you want to show everyone who it is? Yeah, she. Okay, who's in the picture? Ayala, what is your name? Babushka and Dedushka, that's right.
Good job, Ayala.
Does she think that that's a picture of me somehow?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Hey,
Does it look like Babushka? It's Babushka's mommy. She's my Babushka. And this is Babushka's Abba. And now she's my. Now she's your Babushka. That's right.
that's right. Now I'm your babushka. That's how it works. Okay. So thank you everybody who's here, all our people and everybody else. I guess I'll start. We'll do it the same order we usually do it. I'll speak and then Malki, and did it start? And Ari has something this time. And we also have the video that Ari made for us. And people also wanted to say a few other words. Other people who wanted to say a few things can also say a few things as well. But we'll start. I guess we'll do it the way we usually do it. So I'm first. Like everyone. Okay. So. Okay, so Dedushka's yard site is always the week before the new month of Nisan, which is coming up this Thursday. And the new month of Nisan is the very first commandment that God gave the Jewish people just as we were about to leave Egypt. And God told us how to make our calendar, that this month should be referred to as the first of the months. Now you might ask, was this really the first commandment? Right before they left Egypt? Weren't there commandments before that? Like, for instance, Brit Milah, that was a commandment also that was given to Abraham. But actually that commandment was given to an individual, a family at most. But the commandment about a calendar is meaningless for an individual, right? It requires a community, a nation. We can't each have our own calendar. At the minimum, we all need to agree which day Passover falls out on. Okay, but what about the commandment after that? About the second commandment after? So that was actually to bring the Passover offering, to eat the lamb and put its blood on the doorposts. And there too, God says to Moshe, speak to the entire community of Israel. That commandment, the Passover, is both for each family, each household, but also for the entire community. And it's one of the first actions that we take to remember the Exodus from Egypt and to create that memory. Shabbat is another example. This past week's Parsha, Vayakhel, starts with Moshe gathering the entire community of the Jewish people to tell them about how to keep Shabbat. So we keep Shabbat as individuals, as families, and also as a community. In fact, Or HaChaim points out that we learned from Moshe that we should gather together on Shabbat, as we do in Shul. So there are commandments for individuals, for families, for the entire community. And there's also memory of individuals, of families, and of the entire community. A few years back, I was corresponding with a person online, not Jewish. They wrote to me that they were a little jealous of me for having a national communal memory. Apparently, their memory is only about things that happened to them personally, a little bit of their family history, and that's it. They don't have any national or communal memory. And I found that to be more than a little shocking, really. Communal memory is such an important part of my identity, my view of the world. It is hard to imagine that people live without it. It must be so lonely and disconnected. Community matters. I am listed on the Nefesh B'Nefesh website for people making Aliyah to Ra'anana. And I get occasional phone calls asking for advice. One of the points that I always make is the importance of community, especially for Olim. It's something that we take for granted outside of Israel and Jewish communities, but is unfortunately less prevalent here, except in Ra'anana and other places that Olim have settled and influenced. We do have community. That is, a Rav and a Rabbanit, and Torah lessons, and events, and meals for people who have given birth, and kiddushes, and memorials, and shivas. This week was the 10th yard site of my father, of Dedushka, Peter Rosenberg, Pinchas ben Nasinata. And when a person, especially a person who made a difference to a community, passes away, they leave a hole, a gap in the very cosmos, a gap in the sum total of God's presence in this world. And when they're gone, the gap that they leave needs to be filled. And we each feel the need to fill it. So the gap in God's presence, which we might actually call Chilul Hashem, is filled through Kaddish. When the community answers, Yehei Shmei Rabbah, may his name be blessed forever, that fills the empty space a little bit. But each of us finds ways to fill it in our own way. For the past 10 years, I have given a drasha in my father's name and in his memory. And each time I try to bring to life an aspect of his character. On Parshat Parah, I talked about the heart of flesh, sensitivity, and greeting everyone with a smile. On Kitisa, I talked about Rav Chesed, dedication to kindness. And Vayakhel, about Shabbat and community. And the Chodesh, about one day at a time. These are my individual memories and the Torah that flows for me, inspired by him. But every time, each year, members of the community tell me their own recollections, their own memories, what they learned from him, how to be a grandfather, a friend, how to greet a person they meet on the street with true joy, how to show respect to each human being. And each one fills the space that he has left in their own way. And that in turn lifts each of us up. This way, an individual that helps create a community, even when they're gone, their influence continues to be felt through the community itself, through the community memory that extends to more than just one person, and memory that extends forward through time. May his memory be blessed.
Amen.
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 Malcolm, I think you're next.
Okay. Hey. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Kira. That was so beautiful. I'm going to go in a little bit of a different direction. I'm a life coach, right? Everybody here has heard of this, knows this. And one of the things that we do when working with people is somebody wants to figure out what their strengths are, but they're in a place where they can't really get there. Something that we recommend is think of someone that you deeply admire and write down all of the things that you think that you admire most about them. Because what you admire most about other people are things that are deep inside of you. Maybe you need to develop them. Maybe you need to see them as part of you, but they're already, the seeds are inside of you. I remember walking with my dad and people would compliment him all the time. Oh, Peter, just your warmth, whatever. I mean, so many different things, because there are so many different ways to compliment my dad, right? And Dad was always so careful with people's compliments, because I think that he intuited that they were talking about the seed of something deep inside of themselves also. And he was always so careful with other people's feelings. So he was so careful accepting their compliments with such grace, and at the same time pointing that everything that he has comes from above. And this kind of ties, if we kind of move sideways a little bit, to Parshat Noach. And you're thinking, Malki, Parshat Noach was quite a while ago. Why are we talking about Parshat Noach right now? And I would like to point to the weather, where today we have been blessed in it's the middle of March. Usually the rain is finished by now. There are no more thunderstorms. Today there are animals lining up 2 by 2 outside down the street waiting to get on the ark because of the rain. There's actual flooding on Achuza Street a little bit. So that's my tie-in today to Parshat Noach. And what is the relevance of Parshat Noach? Because here's the thing, right? Is that in the very, very beginning of Parshat Noach, Elu Toldot Noach, these are the, what do you say, Toldot? What's a good translation?
History.
Yeah, but there's a better word. We'll get there, whatever.
Lineage.
What?
Chronicles.
Thank you, Chronicles. Right. Elu Toldot Noach. Noach ich tzaddik tamim haya b'dorotav. What are the Chronicles of Noach? Where do we start talking about Noach? We start by saying that he was a righteous man, but not just a righteous man. He was a tzaddik tamim. He was a pure righteous man in his generation. Now what we're going to do in my trusty little Tanakh is we're going to turn the page, because now God is talking to Noach, right? And okay, I should have really marked where this was. Or we turn 1 page, we turn 2 pages. We're just gonna ad lib. That's what we're gonna do because I didn't mark the page. Okay, but the idea is that later God talks to Noach, and Hashem says to Noach, the reason I'm choosing you is because you are a tzaddik, not tzaddik tamim, just a tzaddik. You're a righteous man. And Rashi catches the difference, right? Rashi's like, here he's an ish tzaddik tamim, and here he's just a tzaddik. What gives? And Rashi says that it's because it's really, really important in practice to never compliment a person fully in front of them. It can embarrass them. It can hurt their feelings. It can make them want to, what's the word for it? It can make them want to say, no, it's too much. It's important and part of your sensitivity to other people to, when you're complimenting them to their face, to limit it, so as not to cause them, discomfort. And I'm just finding it amazing that here we are 10 years to Dad's, passing. And every year we find something new to say. He's not with us anymore. So here we are. I mean, this is the point at which you can really compliment a person fully. And it's impossible because it's so much that every year we have to take a piece. And I wish for all of us to have that kind of influence and that kind of an impact on the people in our lives, that so many years after we're gone, that people are still finding, oh wait, but what about this part of Dad? And what about that part of Dad? And what I remember? What I remember is when people would say kind things to him, how careful he was to accept those kind things. And while we're here, I want to thank Ari for sending me the source sheet that I don't remember this being on the source sheet, but sending me the source sheet that made me think of this particular director. So thank you, Ari. And yeah, okay, Ari. Actually, now that I'm thanking you, Ari, I'm pretty sure it's your turn, man.
Yes. Thank you very much. That was beautiful.
One second. Let me find you and highlight you. There you are.
Hi, everybody. At Malki, what you said was absolutely beautiful. Elisheva and I learn a weekly chavruta on Pirkei Avot, right? Collections of these beautiful, beautiful Mishnayot saying these incredible things about how to live. And we reached one, and Elisheva stopped to say, oh, that was Dedushka. Out of all of the different Mishnayot that we learned, that's the one that she felt the need to pause. The Mishnah itself reads, Ezo mechubad hamechabed et habriot. Who is respected? That who respects his fellow man. It's a strange Mishnah because, after all, when you think of someone respected, the first things you think about is someone who acts respectfully, right, is respectable. You respect great men, you respect skilled men. What is it about respecting the fellow man that makes them respect you back? And why is it so connected to Dedushka? Different rabbis have shown different points. The Rambam mentioned how because you respect other people, it changes something inside of you. It makes you be the kind of person people respect. Whereas others, such as the Birkat Avot, say that when you respect other people, you need to lower yourself. You need to make yourself anav. You need to make yourself
Humble.
humble. Thank you. And I think that's the closer point of what made Elisheva stop and say that was Dedushka. Because yes, he respected everyone around him, right? And there isn't a person that knew him that didn't feel that sense of respect, that sense of being on the same plane of equality, right? And past that, because that's how he treated everyone, it changed him himself. When we talk about Hashem, one of the ways we describe him is Melech HaKavod, the king of honor, respect. Why? Because Hashem, who created everyone, still treats us with respect. So he becomes within himself respect. So to Dedushka, because he treated everyone with that same respect, he himself became not just respected, but I dare say the embodiment of that respect from everyone, a kind respect. That's it. That's just the connection we found here. Dedushka, we felt the need to share.
Thank you, Ari.
Yeah, the reason I think of Dedushka when I read because he really did respect everyone and speak to, like, as Ari said, everyone on the same level. Like, I didn't feel like he was talking down to me ever, like, because I was at the time a child. And he didn't just respect people, he would go out of his way to make conversation with them. And I don't even know how to put my finger on it. It was just so Dedushka. And because he just had so much respect and spoke so kindly to everyone, you couldn't help but respect Dedushka. It was impossible to not respect Dedushka. Everyone respected Dedushka. How could you possibly not? Because it was just one of those people who were kind and good.
I'd like to say what I say every time is that I believe that I am the true heir of Dedushka. I think that I take my grandfathering responsibilities, my super daddy responsibilities extremely seriously, as Dedushka did. And when holding the babies and I'm walking with them, I'm giving them candy and stuff, I'm really thinking of and channeling Dedushka. In fact, if Dedushka was still alive now, he would clearly be my biggest competitor.
That's what you bring about.
You'll see, you make Arab Dedushka sound like Arab Slytherin. Careful.
Only when it comes to the candy.
Oh yeah.
You forgot to mention me, by the way. Me too. I'm also there. I get credit too. I pay off my hard work.
You are a good hero support.
Thank you. I try. Usually.
Who's next?
I actually have a few words to say.
Go ahead. Oh wow, Nadeem.
Yeah. So thank you, Ari and Elisheva, for the words, because they remind me of something that Dedushka always used to do. He would always call us every single day without fail. And when you connect that to what you said about how when you respect someone, how he respected us, how he was always looking for the chance to listen and to interact with us, that really shows through in the very daily things he always did. He was always looking for the next opportunity to listen and to be a part of our lives. And that's part of what made him so highly respected and so easy to respect, is because he was always asking, what about you? And that's something that I still feel it. I still feel it.
You touched on something that reminds me also very much of Dedushka, the consistency. Dedushka, if he needed to pick us up from school, he was there 10 minutes early so that he would have a good spot, and he would meet us at the door. And this one time, I think it was Rosh Chodesh, so everyone got out at once, and they weren't opening up the gate on time. So he went straight up to the guard, and he's like, "You let my grandkids out of here." And he would always take us to our Hugin on time. He was never, ever miss being there on time. You know, some parents, oh, okay, 15 minutes later, what was I supposed to be? He had an organized schedule of who needed to be where, when, and he would never miss it. And he was very, very good at the consistency. If he took us to the candy store every Sunday, that means every single Sunday without fail. If we would go every Wednesday to the framing store and get us a piece of art, then that was every single Wednesday. And every Rosh Chodesh, he would take us to go get lunch. And he would not miss a single one. Not, oh, this time I can't because of this or this time. No, he was very good at the consistency. Mommy, do you want to share about the different grandkids, about your post and what each one was named after? Because that was really cute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I posted it on Facebook, but sure, I'll be happy to say that. So Netanel let's start in order. Shai has Akiva Pinchas, and Akiva was named after the quality of V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, loving everybody like yourself, right? And then Netanel has Levi Pinchas. Levi means lion. So Netanel said at his bris that he's named after the quality that he had of resting really well when he needed to. And when somebody needed him, then he would jump right up and run and help whoever needed. And then there's Daniel Pinchas, who's bouncing around over there. Yes, that is him. Who is, Daniel is referred to Ish Chamudot, a person of charm. And Elisheva named him for the charm that he had, that everybody always loved. Whoever met him was charmed by him and loved him. That's what we have so far. Yeah,
Levi was also named after in another way. Abigail named Levi. So we knew the middle name was going to be Pinchas, right? And Abigail is named after Babushka. Her name's Abigail Chana. Chana is after Babushka. Abigail is a whole other thing, but that's not who we're talking about right now. But when Maytal was pregnant, she started calling the baby Levi. And Levi was on our short list. Right, we didn't quite know why, but it's Levi. So we're like, okay, we have to name him Levi. Later on, we found about the connection with the line, but we thought that it really spoke to the relationship between Babushka and Dedushka. That if she had the opportunity, she would name him.
That's also true.
Akiva was also named for Dedushka in another way, just like the story of Rabbi Akiva that he found the religion later in life. Also, Dedushka, after the escape from the Soviet Union, was able to get closer to the religion later in life.
And learn Torah.
And learn Torah, yeah, and become a big part of it.
And
That's
wasn't embarrassed by it, just like Rabbi Akiva wasn't embarrassed about it, learning the Aleph Bet.
And you know how old he was when he arrived in the US, right?
He was 40.
He was 40.
Perfect.
Yes. Just like Rabbi Akiva.
Correct.
Hey guys, you gonna say something, Natasha?
No, I'm just saying that Petinka was 38 when he came to US.
No, it was 30 when he left. And then it was almost 40.
So 39, yeah. Okay, well, it's close enough.
Close enough. 39. Whatever. Plus or minus.
You gonna what?
Mark, you wanted to say something.
Thank you. I have a couple of thoughts. Firstly, you guys are speaking so beautifully about about Peter, and you have the wish that your father, your grandfather, your great grandfather would be able to hear what you're saying. But I have the feeling that he knew very much what you were saying and you were feeling, because he knew how you felt about him in his life, and that's a very beautiful thing. So I'm sure that he's hearing what you're saying and enjoying very much hearing what you're saying. That's the first thing I want to say. And Yossi, I can't claim to be an heir of Peter, but I do claim to be a student of his, in the sense that I've been blessed, and Hedy, my wife, has been blessed with 6 grandchildren. And we always remember what Peter told me before I had any grandchildren. He said, look, Mark, someday you'll have grandchildren. This is like 15 years ago. Someday you'll have grandchildren, and spend as much time with them as you possibly can. I think I'm quoting him directly. And I don't spend as much time with my grandchildren as Peter does or did, but I'm still a student in training. There are still things I have to learn from Peter's memory. So thank you, Peter, and thank all of you for beautiful heritage from him.
Is there, Rav Tzvi and Oshra asked me specifically to send their regrets. They have a community meeting, something probably at a higher level, that they were not able to come today, but each of them asked me specifically to send their love, to the entire family and their very high regard. As they also said to us yesterday at the Kiddush. Anyway, we also have the video that Ari made a couple of years ago, which was always fun to see. So I'm going to share that. 1 second, wait. 1 second, look at like this. That.
Oh, that's
And
exactly how I remember him. Rosy cheeks with that smile and glistening eyes.
thank you, Seaman.
I wanted to be part of this because I just have such good memories of Peter. I mean, what can I say? He was, I was trying to find words, and the only words I can come up with are good and nice, which are such almost meaningless words, but they're not meaningless because that's what he was. He was a good man, and he was such a lovely, warm person. And I have very, very, very fond memories of him. And he's, thank God, left a beautiful legacy in the family that are commemorating him tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wait, Danielle, once again, I'll send the link is on my YouTube. I'll send it. We also have this is for people who just really want to cry. I have videos of just at the end of Yair's bar mitzvah. You know how they start playing random things, and we were just dancing with him. We just took turns dancing with him. It was yeah, anyway. Think of yes, no, yes, okay. Yeah, find it. Yep. Anyway.
Say it again. Yeah. Say it.
Anybody else laughing
Again.
and crying or crying and laughing?
More crying and laughing than yes.
Yes, exactly.
I just think I was watching all these movies and I'm thinking we are so lucky and fortunate and blessed that we had him in our life. And we still have him in our life. And Haviva, I know he'll be at your wedding. I know, because every wedding me and he attend, every simcha, but especially the hupas. I feel him there. So he'll be there, and Babushka will be there too. I'll try to, but I know he will be there. He has his ways. He always had his way be next to you. Okay.
Aviva said to me as I was about to walk into my chuppah, he says to me, don't forget Dedushka. He's looking at you right now. It's like him too, because sometimes in the craziness of the wedding, I wasn't, it didn't occur to me. And like it meant so much to me that she like had said that to me at like that moment as well.
Yes, I'll take a turn.
Hmm.
A few weeks ago, Linda and I were sitting in the kitchen, and she says to me, Daddy, sometimes can you make it so we can see other people, not me?
Okay.
Okay. I'll do that.
No, that's good. No, Linda did it. She's a very tech-savvy person. We were sitting in the kitchen talking, and she says to me, Daddy, sometimes when I don't say Shema at home in the morning, I say it in school. So Linda goes to public school, and she described it to me. She says, I'm in the class and I realize I didn't say it. So I cover my face and I whisper. And I feel other kids may be thinking I'm doing something unusual, but I do it anyway. And I guess I could have thought of many things. Of course, I felt incredibly proud. But the first thing literally that popped into my head was Petya, like literally. And I said that to you right then and there. It was my babushka's anniversary coming up, Petya's mom, Lina, babushka Lina. I could have thought of her. I could have thought of many things, but I thought of him. And I thought of, he was the first person that put a tzitzit on me. He was the first person who took me to shul, like a real shul. He was my first Shabbat. He was my introduction to Judaism. And I thought how proud he would be that in some small little way, that torch carries on, and my sweet little girl who is in public school, but she has this little fire within her that she's there every morning. When she doesn't say it at home, she whispers it in her class. And I know I always say it, but what a legacy he left for all of us. What a legacy all of you guys and you, my darling, are. What a testament to his sacrifice, his everything that he's done in his life. And of course I agree with everything that's been said. What a wonderful, sweet man he was. What a mensch. My mom is trying to say something.
Okay, somebody tell a joke now. About elephants.
Okay. Sina, can you say
Sam.
hi? Wait, hi, Sam. Sina, can you say hi, please? That's Sina Gross.
Hi.
Her son Ben got married about a year after Dad passed away, and Ben was really, really close to Dad. It was, it was they were, Ben and Dad were tight. And I'm at the wedding, and I'm at the edge of the dance floor, and Dad had a presence. You could feel Dad, right? And so there I am, and I'm at the edge of the dance floor at Ben's wedding, and I feel Dad. I'm just looking around like, Dad, and all of a sudden I hear his voice in my ear, and it had to be Dad, because I certainly wouldn't have thought of this. The voice in my ear said, "I got off for good behavior."
Especially to go to Ben's wedding.
Yes.
For sure.
They did have a special relationship.
Oddly enough, I remember in the Shiva was Ben was like piece of Israel that stuck out, because I remember he walked in and like I think he looked maybe the saddest of all people that showed up, and I remember like he said, "I don't know what to say," sort of thing, and like he said, "Oh, well, there's a Makom Menachem," and he's like, it doesn't capture. That one's really etched in me, and like I think it's a very good example of how Dedushka affected a lot of people around him in like unexpected ways, and how deeply he was able to affect people.
Yeah, I'd like to say something. I think that we can't finish this without remembering all the times he took us to the candy store. Like me, Hadar, and Ari, we would always hold hands. One of us, like two of us, would be holding hands with Dedushka, and there's a picture of it. We would go to the candy store, and we would always have a budget of 1 shekel, and we could pick out whatever we wanted. It had to be within a shekel, though. And then we would eat the candy.
It was 5 shekels. He bargained me up.
5 shekels? Wow, examine. And yeah, that was just something that was so special to me. And when I think of Dedushka, that's definitely something that comes to mind. And I really miss him. I miss his hugs. That's also something that I think of. Just
I've also Raya, I've literally recently been thinking of his hugs, like it's almost like imprinted on me. Like I remember it, and it's like engraved. Specifically the hugs. I don't know why recently I keep thinking about it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So I've said this before, but I've taken his minhag of taking the grandchildren out for Rosh Chodesh.
Nathaniel, I remember what you said when he passed away, that we will miss his eyes. The sprinkle, the light in his eyes.
Yeah, I don't remember saying that, but I believe you.
And that we will miss his eyes.
I remember vaguely what I said at his funeral, but like, I don't know.
No, I think we were talking together one of the
Maybe
days.
that's possible.
And you said that we will miss his eyes.
Maybe that sounds possible.
Okay. Peter to me was the epitome of the warm grandfather. I kind of wish, now this is funny, I kind of wish that he was my grandpa, even though he probably wasn't much more than 10 years older than me, but it's like, you were my grandpa. And I had 2 grandpas, but they weren't like Peter, so he would have been a wonderful grandpa for me. But it's okay. It's nice to have seen somebody who was a wonderful grandpa to his grandchildren. But he always greeted me so warmly. It made me feel loved. You know, he hardly knew me, but he made me feel loved. And I guess the affection then engendered reciprocity. We felt the same way toward him. Okay.
We took Peter as our grandfather, certainly for our kids, when my parents and Dana's parents were not here. I treasure the times walking with him. being able to share his presence with my kids. And there's a lot of people on the Zoom who have internalized his good traits and they're passing them on now to their children. And that's happening in my family as well. So Peter's good measures are continuing to bear fruit in this world. And it's it's something we're happy to do, but it's something that we're blessed to have encountered because he enriched our lives and it made us better. I'm grateful to have known him and to know all of you because we share them.
Yeah, speaking of like some incredible traits that he had, whenever someone was speaking to him or he was speaking to someone, right, he'd always like have his full attention on them. And I remember just like when talking to him, like he'd always ask me about things, ask me what I've been doing, how things are going. Also, I remember like whenever like the kids would come home from school, like he'd always ask them how school was. And it's something to this day, like whenever I'm going through something or like I just feel like I need to talk to Dedushka. Like I'll often like just sit there in my mind and just like tell him everything that's been going on because like I always know that he's there to listen.
Try to say something, but like Raya was saying, just like something that can't go without not mentioning that happened. And don't have a spotlight on me. But like every time, we would walk over to Dedushka and give him a hug at shul. Like doesn't matter who he's talking to or who's in front of us, he would like introduce us again. Like I think the millionth time to like Sam Schwartz, who knew us since we were born. Like I'm his oldest granddaughter, and Misheva's his second oldest granddaughter, and then the like middle youngest, which I'm sure Aunt Malky wants to correct my order of the names of people were. But that was always like very special. Like always giving a hug, him always introducing us every single time. And then, like, yeah.
You ever notice that when Dad introduced you guys, there was never a middle grandchild?
Of course, there was always oldest, second oldest.
No. There was oldest, and then it started with the youngest, and then very youngest, and then very, very youngest, and then very, very, very youngest. He didn't want anybody to feel like they were in the middle and forgotten. They're just in the middle, right? So
Rami was youngest, wasn't he?
What?
Rami was youngest grandson for a long time.
He was very youngest. Shaya was youngest. Rami was very youngest. And then he just added berries for each subsequent grandson. And he would introduce them to people who knew everybody, and they'd be like confused because, oh, this is Nadiv. He's okay, I can do this. Very, 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 I think that many varies, youngest grandson. And meanwhile, they know Ari. And Dad's like, no. That's my very, 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 very youngest grandson.
May you all be blessed with many very varies.
Amen.
Давай Punim. Punim, Hezdikir Punim.
Shana Punim.
Shane Punim.
Yeah, I think Hadari was Shana Pupsik. Or she was just Pupsik, and then Or was Shana Pupsik.
No. Hadar was Shana Pupsik, Raya was Shana Medala, and you were Shana. And
Elisha, no, I was Shana.
You're Shana. No, you're Shana Punim.
No, I'm Punim.
Then Elishava was Shana Punim.
Elishava was Shana.
Elishava, you must remember.
So then you're
Aviva was Punim. I was Shaner Punim. Hadar was Pupsik. Raya was Shaner Medalev. And Or was Shana.
There we go.
And I was the first Punim and the only niece. I'm always bragging. I'm the first Punim.
And I think I was just Kirill Petrovich.
Yes.
And of course, whenever he wanted to, whenever he introduced Rami, he would always say, "Oh, and this is if you want to know what I looked like when I was, when I was a kid, and that's what I looked like." And point to Rami, but not shy.
But not shy.
I mean,
I
but
think
it's
he was
true when we
hinting
look
at the
at pictures
future
of
beard.
Dedushka as younger. No, but also when we look at pictures of Dedushka when he's younger, we're like, oh, that looks like Rami, but not Shia.
It's true.
Hmm.
Thank you, Mark.
Kirishka, that video, the last one, is it somewhere on YouTube? Like, can we see it? If you want to cry.
Yeah, if you want to, yes, it's on YouTube. I'm going to put this on YouTube as well. Oh, look. Member of the family.
Can you send Linda a link to the YouTube?
Yes, I'll send a link to the YouTube. I'll put this on YouTube, of course, and I'll send a link to the YouTubes of the other ones. And yes, if Danielle wants to watch it again, like Elisheva asked, you can do so, and the tangos as well. And there are a few other things there also. I'll share them next time. All right. Anyway, thank you everybody for being here, and the people who
Thank you.
joined. And
Thank you for arranging it, and thank you for beautiful collage.
You can show people now. I wanted to show you something she made, and I promised her that at the very end I'd let her show you guys.
Okay.
Guys, you want to show them now? Here, I'll turn it on. Hey, you wanted to show them what you made? She made a card for her friends, and it was just very important to her to get to show everyone.
Okay.
At the very end, you can show people.
That's good. Thank you, Ayala.
Now you can go to
Very
sleep.
beautiful, Ayala.
Okay, good night, Ayala.
Good night.
So cute.
May we share Sochot?
I mean, working on that.
Bye-bye.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Guys.
It was an honor and a pleasure.